would say fantastic British Army speaking. How can I help you? Yes, well, just let me grab the correct forms here. Right, excellent. And may I ask who's calling? Oh, America, really? Gosh, we were rather expecting China. Yes, we do rather rub the red rhubarb the wrong way. Anyway, down to business. Reason for war. I see. Sorry, is sons of bitches hyphenated? Excellent, I'll just pop that on the floor. Limey sons of bitches. Wonderful.
I see the alarm went off to say the red phone's been piping up again.
Ah, Chancellor, do pull up a chair. Just filling in a war form.
China?
America.
Well, Yankee Doodle-Doo. The sleeping cowboy wakes.
So what category of war are we looking at here? Well, it works on a sliding scale, ranging from pigtail pulling to bollock busting. As short and as bloody as possible. Well, I'm afraid we don't actually have an option for that.
Tell him it's a tick box exercise.
It's a tick box exercise.
And try and push him towards the cheapest option.
He wants bollock busting. How cheap is that?
Well, depends if he wants to go nuclear or not.
Well, he has been dropping M-bombs all over the place when he hasn't been dropping F-bombs every other word.
Yeah, excellent. Maximum impact, minimum spend. That should keep the piggy bank plump.
And have you thought of a name for this war?
I can't be done with all these long, drawn-out conflicts that dip into the coffers at the expense of my expenses.
I'm afraid World War III has already been reserved.
It was a complete waste of public money to spend it endlessly on bloody good-quality British-made bullets that end up launched in people who don't even like us.
Yes, I know it hasn't actually happened yet, but the Russians have had it on pre-order since the 60s.
And do these so-called casualties appreciate how much it costs to try and kill them? No.
I could do you a deal on World War IV.
And the ones who survive walk away with a free bullet. Free!
Well, no, I suppose you wouldn't necessarily have to wait until the third one has actually happened.
And with no appreciation for quality, never mind cost.
We could do it the other way round. People love prequels these days. I mean, look at Star Wars, Episode 1. That turned out pretty well, didn't it?
Ask him if he'd consider a sequel to the Cold War.
Not a bad idea. Had a lot of stimulating military grey, as I recall.
Yes, it also works out a lot cheaper to use rhetoric instead of live ammunition.
Oh, God, I love rhetoric. That's what I named my first daughter, you know.
Cold War II definitely has a ring to it.
It's a bit Hollywood for my taste. Cold War II, the sequel. This time it's slightly warmer.
Well, on a scale of Cold War to Hot War, how hot does he want it?
Piping. They asked for Nuclear Man. And the only thing hotter than that is Death Valley and Alluring Slags.
Yeah, good name for a battlefield, that.
Alluring Slags.
Death Valley. It would look wonderful described on a war monument. I can just picture it now. The Battle of Death Valley. Just below a statue of a glorious private, punching a vulture and bayoneting a cactus.
God, I want to see that statue. It's almost worth sending our soldiers over there to die just so we can build it.
Soldier!
Prime Minister, Prime Minister.
Soldier! We only have the one soldier.
One private, to be precise, Prime Minister.
Sorry, can I just pop you on hold? With all due respect.
A woman is never due respect. She commands it. Put that one in the quote book, Chancellor. I'd like to pop that one on a policy press the campaign.
A vote for the woman is a vote for the women.
I beg your pardon, Prime Minister.
A pardon is that so often begged for, but rarely given. Couldn't we put that one on some pro-prison policy poster?
See why not?
With neither respect nor beg pardons, could you explain what you meant by that term, soldier?
What I meant, Field Marshal, is that, due to budget cutbacks, I have reduced the British Army to just yourself and a single brave young soldier.
I see. And can I ask the decisions behind this rather short-sightedness that should undergo cataract surgery, perhaps?
It was thought that after a series of unpopular wars, that the morale of the nation had fallen well below the level needed to re-elect me in the spring.
Our hand was forced. As Mother used to say, you've got to hack some of the fat off the bacon to make the full English look more appealing. And you never need more than 2 rashers.
But 2 rashers is woefully inadequate when the enemy has an army of whole hogs.
Pork aside, we were repatriating a demoralizing conveyor belt of highly decorated corpses.
Last year, our coffin bill was larger than the one they had built into the budget for last of the summer wine.
A Prime Minister cannot be seen on a news bulletins electioneering just moments after Johnny Newscaster has announced that Private so-and-so has been shot in the such and such by some oil-hoarding SOB.
So in the interest of votes,
In the interest of voter,
you decimated the British Army
well, I reduced the potential body count.
to the point where our national defence consists entirely of 2 men.
2 British symbols of resilience and efficiency.
And how long ago did you make these cuts?
8 months.
8 months. 8 months? You mean for 8 months I have been issuing detailed battle plans and complex maneuvers on 3 fronts to be carried out single-handedly by one lone...
Private reporting for duty, sir!
I invited the army to the war room to be with.
One battered amputee does not an army make.
Permission to reattach my arm, sir!
8 months? I can't believe I didn't notice. I can't believe no one told me.
I'm surprised you're surprised.
You're surprised I'm surprised?
I'm surprised you're surprised I'm surprised.
Because?
Because you never bother to leave your office and talk to the people who aren't even there.
Because I am ankle deep in paperwork, waist high in battle crimes, and thigh deep in war crimes.
Face it, Field Marshal, you're out of touch.
That statement, Prime Minister, is beyond pot and kettle. I mean, my God, there are so many ivory towers in Whitehall. There's a 2-to-1 ratio of MPs to elephant poachers.
I may be out of touch, but when I'm on that campaign trail, I'm in touch with the people I'm out of touch with.
Who gave you permission to bend awkwardly, Private? Stand to attention immediately.
Sir, yes, sir!
Now, can we get back to the matter in hand? No pun intended. I believe we have a war to organise. Field Marshal, phone form.
We're doing another war. Permission to make an exhausting whimpering sound, sir.
Permission denied.
Mr. President, I see from your application form that you want to unleash a nuclear war on the British Isles.
Well, nuclear? Does that mean I won't have to get involved in hand-to-hand combat?
Not unless we courier your other arm to the battlefield. No, Private, no, it won't.
Mr. President, I will not allow you to unleash, and I quote, an atomic whoop-ass on Britain and her people. Chancellor, raid the quote book and line me up some battle blasters that would make Boudica blush.
It's going to be all bombs and no boys then?
Wake up and smell the radiation burn, son. Who do you think will be handling our retaliation? We P-45, the entire RAF and Navy.
The President has nearly finished his sentence and I've got bugger all to retort with. Where's my dick-swinging back chirp?
Permission to drop my jaw in disbelief and stick up a bit in my mouth, sir.
Permission denied. If I can't, you can't.
Okay.
I've got it. Mr. President, you can bomb our cities,
Mr. President, you can bomb our cities.
you can bomb our towns,
You can bomb our towns.
you can bomb our villages,
You
our
can bomb
farms
villages,
and our land.
Our farms and our land.
I can't find the rest of the quote. It's an unfinished quote.
Then what did you spout it out to me for?
It sounded inspirational. It sounded Churchillian. I thought it was going somewhere.
If you'd have finished the quote, it would have gone somewhere. Now the only place it's going is full blast up the cul-de-sac of bombast. How the hell am I going to get out of this?
Okay. Don't panic. Right, got it. You can bomb our cities, you can bomb our towns, you can bomb our villages, our farms, our land. But don't
But don't. Just forget it. Mr. President. He's hung up.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck! I have just given the President of the US of A bombs permission to bomb our cities, our towns, our villages, our parks, and our lands! That is an oh, fuck. With cheese on top and freedom fries on the side!
Permission to throw up so violently you won't know whether to fetch a bucket or an exorcist, sir.
Permission vigorously denied. Whether you like it or not, Private, we are now a country at war, and you are our army.
With all due respect, sir, I mean, I've been fighting wars on 3 different fronts for 3 different countries single-handedly for 8 months.
Pun intended?
No, look, because I can't be everywhere at once, I've had to stand at the point where these borders meet, gun in hand, constantly rotating, shooting anything that even looks like a baddie, and to be honest, well, I'm a tad peaky.
Peaky.
Peaky, sir, peaky.
Strong words, Private. Are you some kind of coward?
Sorry, can't use that word anymore, Field Marshal. They're the bravery challenge now. One of the discrimination laws we passed.
You are a soldier, soldier.
That's the problem. You're looking at the scale of World War.
Cold War II, actually.
I think it's a little hotter than that, isn't it?
And I'm not a coward.
And you know World War III?
Hot War I.
No, pre-booked by Russia.
But I can't stand alone.
Why don't we just skip on to the next one, World War IV?
And have the first casualty of this war be numerical order, not on my watch, Prime Minister.
But I can't stand alone and fight another war without armed forces beside me, behind me, above me, or below me.
Look, Private, I don't like having a reduced army any more than you do.
I quite like it price-wise.
Yeah, it worked for me, but if it ensures my re-election.
All right, I like it slightly less than him and a lot less than her. But the fact remains that history does not wait patiently for people to get their ducks in a row. Or soldier in this case. So you're a tad peaky after doing a war. So you've lost a limb or two.
I'm 80% aluminium.
So what? Churchill was 80% whiskey? He only needed that dry 20% to scupper old Adolf. Elvis was 50% hip and 40% lip. But he still managed to give his country a patriotic 10. Am I getting through to you, Private?
Sir, yes, sir. When duty calls, I will answer the call for the call of duty. Sir!
And you will do your country proud, Private?
Sir, yes, sir. I would die for king and country, sir.
No, sir, you will not, sir.
No, sir?
No, sir. If you die, then we'll run out of privates. And we're going to look pretty silly turning up to a war with no privates.
Oh, yes, sir.
And yes, there'll be nothing left to Field Marshal to field, will there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Look, why don't we, I don't know, call America back. Say we've done a U-turn on the A-bomb idea.
You may turn, but this lady's not for turn.
Right. Yeah, so, sorry, I wasn't suggesting we rotate you in any way, like some kind of rotisserie politician. No, it was more a U-turn than U-turn, you see?
I repeat, you turn, Field Chancellor, but this lady's not for turn.
Right. So, sorry, again, it's just, I'm not suggesting we physically rotate you in any way.
I'm quite clear on your action. It's your motive that I would question.
Well, to put it bluntly, Prime Minister, the lady might not be for turning, but I'm sure the men here will probably enjoy a bit of spin.
Not all the men, man. The winds of war are a-blowing, and it's a damp man that spits into that wind.
It's only getting gusty because you opened the window just now.
But it was America that started the breeze when she shoved an electric hand fan through our letterbox.
Breathe aside. I am not calling the President back to call off the dogs of war.
Is it the dogs that have the electric hand fan?
No, the dogs will be the ones spitting at the fan.
Oh, hence the wet nose.
So, forget the dogs, forget the winners, forget the spit. I am not calling back to America and asking her to call off the nuclear war in the face of looking weak for the next election.
Well, I mean, we are weak. Look, I'm the army and a quarter of me is on the table.
And I'm not sure. The best way to get the electorate on side is to irradiate them.
I thought the problem problem was that we didn't raise it.
So what you are saying that I should ask the president to bomb opposition constituencies?
Oh, well, no, that's not exactly what I was saying.
What exactly are you saying then?
Well, I just think some pre-shit-hitting the fun diplomacy will be a lot cheaper than doing a war.
Is it the dog shit?
Different fan,
Yeah.
different dog,
Okay.
different shit, Private.
Gentlemen, when did we get bogged down in the quagmire of handband and doggy-do? We four gathered here are this country's pillars of support and defense network. As the ominous clouds of conflict gather and the distant rumbles of the thunderous bomb echoes across the Atlantic, we must stand bastions of the bulldog spirit. We must stiffen our upper lip, starch our spine, and stand staunch in the face of he who would seek to weaken our will, our way of life, our world. As the grim promise of war is delivered by the dark-eyed postman of doom, our citizens will look to us in this time of uncertainty to see that Britannia will raise her shield and pierce his postbag with the fearsome prongs of her probing trident. Uncle Sam may have an atomic bee in his star-spangled bonnet, and our honeyed land may have drawn the stub of its but we are British. You can bomb our cities. You can bomb our towns, our villages, our farms, and our lands. But you cannot bomb our spirit!
God, that's good.
There may be moments
Oh, she's off again.
when we can't see the trees for the mushroom cloud, and when our country, our citizens, our family, our friends have been blinded by the horrors of conflict, we will take them by the hand and lead them from the darkness of war. Now is the time to prepare our people and rally our allies!
All right, everyone, the war effort starts here. And I think Britain will want to know right away that we're right behind them. And first of all, one of the medals has fell off.
Get it right, Phil Marshall.
Right. Where was I?
First thing we've got to do after we've rallied our allies, yes, yeah.
After we rallied our allies, is to make sure that we had a good colour scheme.
I was want to see you.
It's been done to death, Prime Minister. World War I, chocolate boxes, Wild West wanted posters.
I've got some swatches with me, if that would help.
Redecorated.
No, I was thinking of having the budget box re-leathered. I was thinking of ditching tradition and rejecting the red. It's all faded, you see.
Oh, red. Now there's an original war colour.
Well, I've got roadkill rouge or carpet burn.
No, what about the red coats?
Oh, red coats. Yes, we could give them all red coats and really play on that.
No, we wore red the last time we lost against America, the red coat.
True. What did we wear the last time we beat America at something?
What about a nice whimsical yellow?
Completely out of the question. Big Bird has cornered the market on that colour, and he's famously passing it.
It shouldn't be so bright it's inappropriately cheery, but it shouldn't be so dull that it wouldn't feature well in a BBC period drama.
What about white? There's a pallid agoraphobic or a pope.
No, I think we wore white during the Battle of Hoth.
That was the Empire Strikes Back, Private.
Oh. What about orange?
I know, we wore that when we attacked the Death Star.
That was Star Wars, Charles.
We've not done green yet, have we?
Battle of Endor.
Return of the Jedi! The reason we haven't done green is because it was the return of the bloody Jedi. The return of the bloody Jedi!
Ooh, well, if we haven't gone green, then how about a Mankini green?
Mankini green? You swatched Mankini green as an option for Re-leathering the budget box?
Yes. In fact, I was rather leaning towards that one. I want to appear not quite so officious when I'm delivering the budget, you see. So I thought, what about a more daring colour that says, yes, I'm 90% numbers, but I'm 20% fun as well.
And I suppose as an appropriate bonus, Mankini Green would suggest that your budget box is stuffed with unpalatable bollocks!
Are we being a bit of a bitter Billy because I brought down your bullets, bombs and bayonets budget?
There is bringing down and there is raising.
I thought we said that the problem was we didn't raise it.
Raise, man! Raise, not raise!
We didn't raise it. Look at him.
Raise, man, raise!
We can't raise the number of men in the army, not on your budget.
Grammatical farce aside, we are wasting valuable time that could be used for ally rallying.
You're right, Prime Minister. We need our brothers in arms to open their arms as we pick up our arms in our arms and embrace those brothers in arms with our arms, which are open with our arms, which are armed with arms in our arms.
As much as I'd like to slow hand clap the longest sentence delivered since the Nuremberg trials were last in session, time is of the essence.
You're right, Prime Minister. Private, hold up this map of the balance.
Sir, yes, sir.
Now, we need to rally our allies so that America doesn't consider us to look like a Chernobyl theme park when they're finished.
What are all the upside down smiley faces?
Enemies.
Ah, but an enemy is just a friend that you haven't met yet.
I think that's strangers.
What's an enemy?
Somebody who detests us with reasonable reason.
Wake up and smell the enriched uranium, Field Marshal. We don't have any allies. Over the years, we've pissed off each and every one of those countries, to the extent where our pissing off has all but guaranteed they won't be pissing on us when we're on fire, which we will be any minute now.
He's right, Field Marshal. I had thought we'd had more allies to rally, but it seems the world doesn't see us having anything better to offer over the USA, since superheroes and steaks became more popular than Shakespeare and Skins. Name one country who would stand by us instead of them.
Denmark. We gave them 12 points in Eurovision, so they owe us one.
Yeah, but when they only gave us 1 point in return, we banned Danish pastries, Great Danes and Claire Danes.
Iceland.
No, not after we tainted their good name by associating it with that tatty supermarket. I swear half their food is just sawdust and asbestos, though they do a good party platter.
Well, not Iceland, maybe somewhere else in Europe.
Face it, Field Marshal, we might as well just draw a sad face around the whole continent.
Yeah, I mean, they've all hated us since she kept sending me over to do wars in their countries.
Oh, come on, where's your sense of diplomacy? I mean, all we've got to do is open our mouths and invite them in. I mean, what about closer to the home? What about our nuclear neighbours? What about the French?
Oh dear God.
What's wrong with the French?
Yeah, French.
Fine. So, well, let's cross off Europe. What about Iraq or Russia or the Democratic People's Republic of the Isle of Wight?
Oh, face it, Field Marshal, we're alone.
Then if we are alone, we're going to need more than whatever is left of that man.
With all due respect, Field Marshal, or in fact, very little respect and almost plain rudeness, are you fucking thick?
Excuse me, Chancellor.
No, really. I mean, you do understand there's no money. To put it quite simply, you're both a high-vis vest away from selling the big issue.
Then you need to raise some money, Chancellor. You need to counsel like you've never chancelled before.
Okay, well, what about some kind of war tax?
Nobody's raising a tax this close to an election.
Well, now, come on now, Prime Minister, there's always ways to tax.
Such as?
We tax only the areas that sit in safe opposition seats. They aren't going to vote for us anyway, so we punish them accordingly.
But think of the protest! I can't have the whole of Westminster flooded in placards, while every single malnourished journalist is waiting to gobble up political tidbits before an election.
Okay, well then we tax only the people who can't afford the bus fare to come to London to protest.
So we tax them for.
Precisely. And if we tax them enough so they can't afford paper and glue, then that solves the placard problem as well.
So we could use this money to buy more soldiers, yes?
Well, yes. After the Treasury has sliced the monetary cucumber for its own sandwich, of course.
So hypothetically, how much could we raise from a war tax?
Oh, well, I have to do some calculations here. Let's see. Should we say tax at 40%? No, let's see. We'll double that. Half that. Minus the one. Double that. One for me, one for you. Minus the one for you. Second home, clean moat. Allocation to armed forces. My wife's birthday. About £4.
£4.
Field Marshal.
4 sodding pounds? What the hell is the British Army meant to do with 4 sodding pounds?
A lunch.
4 sodding pounds. I'll show you what you can do with 4 sodding pounds of fist in your mouth.
Guys! Guys! Control yourselves! We must unite against our common enemy!
The Chancellor is our common enemy. It is the Chancellor who pulls the purse strings. It is the purse string that holds the money. It is the money that funds an army. And it is the army that defends the peaceful country. It is the peaceful country full of happy people. And it's the votes of the happy people that keeps the government in that keep the people happy. And if you drop a great big American bomb on your voters, you're hardly going to keep them happy now, are ya? And it all started with the purse strings.
We never decided on the colour scheme.
How about it?
I've got a royal blue or dead royal blue.
What about a preemptive strike?
What colour's that?
It's not a colour, it's a tactic.
Oh, now, preemptive strike. Now, how would that play with the voters?
Well, it would show that we mean business, and it may even deter a full nuclear attack. Remember, a life saved is a vote gained.
Oh, that makes 0 sense. If we bomb the shit out of them just to get the monkey off our back, that monkey's simply going to scrape the shit up and fling it back through the bars at us.
It would have to be a tactical strike, not on their mainland, but on one of their interests.
Like a burger.
We bomb a burger.
No.
Not that kind of interest. Political, economical.
Donald Trump.
You want to bomb Donald
Oh,
Trump?
no, you can't go around bombing Donald Trump.
Oh, I don't want to bother Donald Trump.
Why don't you want to bomb Donald Trump? You some kind of Yankee sympathizer.
Look, we're losing the thread here a little. I was thinking more along the lines of a North Atlantic offshore oil rig.
Ah, oil. The black blood pumping through the heart of war.
Sorry, I was leaning on the dimmer.
Hello, Field Marshal. It's not actually a bad idea.
We bomb one oil rig, and it sends a clear message to Achilles that we know how to hobble his heels.
I thought Achilles was Greek. Why are we bringing them into it?
Okay, so it was an unclear message. Forget Achilles, it doesn't matter.
Well, then why are we getting him involved all of a sudden?
Now, look, I think what the Field Marshal is trying to say here is that if we hit Uncle Sam where it hurts, it sends a clear message that we know how to cripple him, and we've got the means. Am I right?
Right. Well, as much as that wraps things up in a nice little bow, I'm afraid we're forgetting one thing.
And that is?
And that is the oil rig is at sea, whereas our navy ain't.
Ah, yes. So when we disbanded the Navy, we sold all our ships.
You sold all our ships to?
Uncle Sam.
I see. So, we're fucked on all fronts then.
Yes?
Yes. Good.
Right. fucked.
Right.
Right?
On all fronts.
Sorry. Yeah. Fucked!
I could go, sir.
Private?
I could go. I mean, you said it yourself. I'm your army now, so it's not so much as I could go as I should go. For king and country.
And how do you propose to reach an offshore oil rig, Private, when we have no ships? Taxi?
We may not have warships, but we do have boats.
Boats? Boats, yes, of course. We sit on the bloody Thames, for Christ's sake. But surely we can commandeer a boat from there.
Well, the budget won't cover the fuel bills for those big river boats, Field Marshal.
So what sort of boats did you have in mind, Chancellor?
Well, I was thinking more those ones over in Hyde Park, for example. You know, the sort of peddly ones, in the shape of a swan. A peddler, yes.
A swan peddler.
Swan peddler, yes.
You want to show that Britain means business by rocking up in a swan peddler to drop off a bomb?
The bomb. We only have one bomb left.
One bomb?
One bomb, yeah. You see, after we downsized the armed forces, we had little need for a substantial arsenal, so we sold most of it.
You sold it.
We sold it, yeah.
To?
Uncle Sam.
I see. So, fucked on all fronts and fucked on all fours.
Look, I'm pretty tired and I've only got enough limbs left for one more war. So are we doing this or not?
Private, you are an inspiration to us. I rather than seeing what we don't have, you see what we should do.
So we're doing it.
Yes, and to quote the former coach of our ill-fated Olympic rowing team, that swan ain't gonna paddle itself.
So where is this final bomb then? I mean, I'm assuming that you've sold off all our submarines and our silos. I mean, is it in the kitchen drawer or under somebody's bed perhaps? It's here. You brought a nuclear bomb into the one room that's designed to protect us from nuclear bombs. Oh, no, that's marvelous. Oh, that's genius. Oh, sorry, did I say genius? I think that's absolutely crazy. And BSE grade crackers. You're mad. I've seen more loose screws than an IKEA flat pack.
We had no choice but to hide it from you, Field Marshal. If you ever used it, we could neither afford to replace it, nor to pay for the repercussions that would arise from using it.
And now?
And now we're backed into a corner where it would be far too costly to the country not to use it. This is for Great Britain, and my re-election requires it.
But sod Operation Pedalo. I mean, if we blow up our only bomb, we'll cease to be a nuclear power. We'll lose our standing in the world.
He's right, you know. We'd lose our influence. And if you lose your influence, your economy becomes reactive instead of proactive. It would be monetary Armageddon.
And we're buggered if we do, and we're buggered if we don't. Fucked on all fours and fucked on all fronts.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new motto of the British Army.
The private is our only hope. He will have to do the action for Great Britain and bring back glory to the army.
He can sacrifice a global economy, and a stable one at that, for your personal power trip.
I am not on a power trip. I want this country fair and square. Private, take the bomb and do with it what you must. For king, for country, for 5 more years.
You know, I've seen some sights since I've signed up. I've seen homes destroyed, families destroyed, lives lost, limbs lost. Well, mostly mine. But it wasn't until I stepped into this room that I really saw what war looks like. It looks like a power suit and pearls. It looks like a bank manager. It looks like a desk jockey.
Private?
But you know what the thing is about it? I'm the only one who sees it. You've got a whole country out there, eating, voting, earning, sleeping, fighting. They're completely unaware of how close they are to absolute chaos. And do you know what the really sad thing is?
The end of Titanic?
They think they need you! They look up to you! And you think that gives you license to look down on them? I mean, they go about their daily routines and almost everything they do is somehow touched by you. A law here, a tax there, a tax here. Especially when it comes to the big things. Especially when it comes to the bomb.
Private, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm saving Britain, Prime Minister. From you.
He's hanging the bomb.
No,
Knock it off, Private. Private, just a step back from the bomb, you know.
Wait! If I remember our old government information forms correctly, we should all be perfectly fine as long as we duck and cover.
Chancellor, unless you're ducking into a radiation suit and then covering yourself with a lorry load of mafia-grade concrete, you're as buggered as the rest of us.
Private, now is not the time to throw atomic toys out of the pram of war. You knew what you were signing up for.
I signed up to serve king and country, not to serve the whims of electioneering politicians, and not to satisfy some administrator's lust for glory.
So you want to play Guy Fawkes and blow this country into a new economy?
No.
What, by using the most uneconomic means possible?
I want to give Britain a fighting chance who'll find some leaders who'll act in their best interests and not their own.
You would condemn us to die in a red and white and blue blitz?
Oh no. We've already perished in that blitz before it's even hit us. You've made enemies in places of allies. You've sacrificed security for savings. You've sought war in the name of peace. I mean, you've ruled by contradiction.
No, we haven't. Whatever you may think of us, we are now a country at war. Our wars need leaders to win them.
You're right. You're right. They do. But it won't be you. It'll be someone who seeks pride in their country. Not pounds in their purse, votes on their chest, or medals in their box.
You are deluded, Private. You think that a wonderful phoenix is going to rise from the ashes when all Britain has are gammy old pigeons.
I'd take the gammy old pigeons over the crowing cocks that reduced us to ash in the first place.
You're not thinking.
Any day.
You're not thinking straight, Private. I order you to think straight.
To quote the man that once rents out the Swan Pedlos, your time is up.
We are not obsolete!
You're absolutely obsolete! You could have accomplished so many things, helped so many people. But you've lost your humanness behind these titles and all the baggage they bring with them. I mean, Prime Minister, Chancellor, Field Marshal, do you even remember your names? Do you even remember your names?